With our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Danny Romero Jaji Sibali fight once again is scheduled for 12 rounds. There is no standing 8 count, but in this fight there is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
All right, Harold. And on his 9th day in America, 3rd trip ever out of South Africa. He fought once in Italy and once in Israel. Jaji Sibali makes his way out of his dressing room to come to the ring.
Comes from a tribe in Africa where circumcision isn't practiced until you're 20 years old, and he just graduated from high school last year at the age of 28. Maybe he is a late bloomer.
His tribe is the Xhosa tribe, which also produced, incidentally, among others, one Nelson Mandela. It's the 2nd largest South African tribe in terms of sheer numbers, behind only the Zulus. He is a Christian. When we asked him yesterday what we should know about him, he said very quietly, "You should know that I am about to be world champion." There's the record: 22 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, 27 of those 29 bouts in South Africa, 13 KOs. He is the ranked junior bantamweight contender in Danny Romero's governing body in that weight class, and therefore the mandatory opponent for Romero in this title defense. Romero preceded into the ring by his father, who has controlled every step of his career. You see the sensational record in his only loss in September of 1995. The orbit bone, the eye socket bone around his left eye, was broken, and he had to have a plastic plate put in to replace it. But since that time, Larry, he has ventured into the ring successfully and without any further damage to the eye.
Yes, but the fighter he's fighting tonight is presumed to be a better fighter than the fighter who caved in his eye.
That fighter's name was Willie Salazar, and in his next outing, he was beaten by one Johnny Tapia. Let's go up to Michael Buffer for the pre-fight intro.
And now, part 2 of the double rumble on the Rio Grande. Cedric Kushner Promotions and Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated with the Sandia Casino, New Mexico's largest, in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, present 12 rounds for the IBF Junior Bantamweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the New Mexico Athletic Commission Chairman Jim Boggio and the International Boxing Federation President Robert W. Lee Sr., IBF Supervisor Darryl Peoples. The 3 judges scoring this contest on a 10-point must system are Jim Ash, Frank Skilbred, and Adelaide Triplett. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Larry Chavez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2nd time tonight, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, let's get ready to rumble! In the blue corner, wearing red and white and weighing 114 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 22 victories, 13 by knockout, against 5 defeats with 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, from East London in the new South Africa, here is the IBF #1 ranked challenger in the world, Jaji Sibali. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing gold trimmed with red, weighing in also at 114 1/4 pounds. As a professional, his record stands at 29 victories, 26 by knockout with only 1 defeat, and 2 world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, here is the 2-time world champion and reigning, defending IBF Junior Bantamweight Champion of the World, Johnny Romero.
We were led to believe that this would be more of a Tapia crowd. I don't think that's been borne out, at least by the sounds we've heard, Jim.
They both gave the instructions earlier. Did both you understand them fully? Did both you understand them fully?
Yeah.
Did you? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? This is a championship fight. Let's make it a championship fight. Good luck to both of you, and let's go.
Coats are real high.
Yeah.
One boxing publication, KO Magazine, says that Danny Romero is the best puncher in the world, pound for pound. We've seen him before. This I've got to see again.
Well, he mentioned us. His nickname used to be Kid Dynamite. He said, I can't be Kid Dynamite anymore. I'm too old for that now. I'm 22.
And
I've got to be Man Dynamite.
Yeah, well, he's declaring his independence from his dad. He's growing up.
It's going to be tough for him to fight this type of fight with these African guys. Most of the South Africans are very strong punchers, and they come on late in the round, just as you said about their tribe. So if he can withstand Danny's early punches, he should give Danny a long night.
Well, the plan on Sibali's part was to move and stick the jab in the first few rounds, try to stay away from Romero's power, and then build a tactical fight plan after the first few rounds went by. The feeling being that Romero wasn't nearly so dangerous once you got past the first 6 to 9 minutes, but Sibali's standing right in there with him, Roy.
Because Romero is not really chasing him. Romero is not boxing him. Romero is right there for him. And this is the type of fight these guys like to fight. The Africans like the long endurance type fights. That's why they like the long distance running and stuff.
If Romero has a weakness, it is that he's been painted with too many power punches in recent fights, and Sibali has already landed a couple of lesson rights inside. But Danny Romero will get a chance to go to the body here, and if he can discipline himself to do that, he might make hay in the first couple of stances.
Another thing that I want to add is that Danny Romero did not spar for this fight, I heard.
That's right.
If he didn't spar for this fight, then he won't be in shape for the long haul.
Well, he sparred about 5 rounds, Roy. His father doesn't believe in sparring. He says it wears fighters out, and says that will be the wave of the future, less and less sparring. You saw that left hook drive Sibali across the ring.
Sibali dropped his right hand. Romero landed a left hook. Now Romero drops his right hand, and Sibali lands a left hook in response.
And Sibali's left eye is very red from the punishment.
His left eye has an unusual concentration of scar tissue above the brow, and he has been cut over that eye in most of his recent fights.
Romero is throwing some good punches in this fight early.
If he gets in a right hand early, he might see that left eye open up. Romero with pretty good head movement right now.
That was a good right hand by Sibali.
Bring it out. Step back. Step back. When I say step back, back.
Another good right hand inside by Sibali, and Romero comes back with a left hook.
Oh,
and a hard right hand.
Romero needs to keep his left hands a little higher after he punches. When he throws his left hand, he brings it back to his chest. This is how Sibali is landing that right hand over the top of it.
Round 1 has been a counter-punching festival for both Romero and Sibali. And as we go to Jaji Sibali's corner, our own Kosa tribesman, who will do the translating there, is Buyani Gobodo.
You feel all right? You feel okay? You feel okay?
Keep your hands up.
Yeah, keep your hands up.
Punching.
Keep punching. Keep punching. Keep that right hand.
Let it down.
Let the gap be there, but keep the punch.
Good work.
It's good work. Okay. Okay.
You let the jab work, and the close range.
Use the jab. Use the jab. Use the jab.
Okay. The close range. Want to chip the upper part. Okay. Change.
Hanging in there. Sibali didn't come here to be an opponent. We'll see whether he turns out to be one.
Second side, let's go, let's go.
Cuando le pegas aquí con la derecha, hit him with the right hand again. Same right hand, huh? Same hand.
Danny Romero's dad says hit him with the right hand again. In round one, by punch stat computations, Danny Romero landed 41 of 85 punches. Those are good numbers.
Between rounds, Sibali's corner didn't even remove his mouthpiece.
He does have a little bit of a welt already over the left eye, but it's not dangerous at the moment.
Sibali is showing a lot of respect for Danny Romero's punching power.
Romero landed 17 of 42 jabs in the first round. He goes back to work on the jab here in the first minute of round number 2 and digs to the body with the left hand.
Sibali showing respect for the power, hoping that Romero will use all of his power shots early. Then he would try to probably come on later in the fight.
Hard right hand by Sibali. What do you think of Sibali's strategy, Roy? The right one?
I think it's a good strategy against the puncher. If you use your head against the puncher, go out and make him punch hard early, then you can fight him more in the later rounds. He also has to dig to Romero's body some to try to weaken him.
Romero coming up and under with the left hand. Has been digging it to the body himself. And now he goes back to sticking the jab.
Excellent body work by Romero.
Break, break, step back, step back, step back.
Right hand lands across the top again for Romero. Sibali coming back with counter shots to the body. Romero looking for another chance to land the right. He got in one more and now straight left.
I love the way Danny Romero throws that jab. That's a weapon for him. It's not a feel-out punch. And you can often tell what a fighter is made of by his willingness to commit behind that jab.
Chopping right hand landed for Romero. Sibali landed a long right hand himself. When they meet in the center of the ring and confront, Danny is managing to finish most of those exchanges.
Come on.
Seconds to go in the round. Romero landed the roundhouse left hook that excited the crowd, but maybe more effective was the right hand to the body with about 5 seconds to go in the round.
Good round for Romero.
Amarito. You're throwing the right hand, but you're picking it up to hit him on top. Just keep it here. Boom. Boom, okay? Don't pick that elbow up. Calm down. Yeah. You know, he's blocking it. He's trying to block it. He's trying to block it. Yeah. Okay? Just keep throwing it. He's starting to roll it, huh? Okay. Just keep throwing it. He won't block all of it. Okay. He's starting to slow down. Okay. Okay. Throw it around him, huh? Okay. He's just blocking like that. Okay, yes. Eventually it's going to come off, huh? Okay. 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 Don't stand still so much. Don't pose so much.
Let's move, move.
Through the first 2 rounds, our CompuBox punch counters have Danny Romero landing nearly 60% of his power shots. There's another hard right hand that landed flush right on the target, which is Sibali's left eye. Left hook backs Sibali up. Romero goes in for the attack. Sibali's balance not very good in the first minute of round 3.
Danny Romero is so strong with these punches that when he hits Sibali, sometimes he just knocks him off balance. Hopefully he won't get too overexcited and use up all of his energy early with the big shots, though. Big shots require twice as much energy as the smaller, sharper shots.
So if you were managing and training Danny Romero, would you ask him to build more of his fight plan around his terrific left jab?
Most definitely, because this way he can save a lot more energy. He won't have to worry about punching himself out. But he's looking good so far.
Roy, when you're 22 years old, you think you're never going to punch yourself out.
Yeah, and it's the 26 knockouts and 29 wins that make him a star.
If you use the jab, you can get this knockout a lot easier. Those type of punches won't come out because you set up an opening with the jab. Then you won't have to use so many power punches to get the knockout.
Hard right hand landed across the top. Sibali is taking these thunderous punches pretty well. But Danny is landing with increasing accuracy on his power shots. Flush for Romero. Sibali showing a pretty good chin. A lot of Danny Romero opponents wouldn't have been able to stand up to this fusillade of power punches. Romero feinting to the right and then trying to come back upstairs with the right hand.
He feints to the right to try to make Sibali step to the left and catch his foot in the air while he's stepping and hit him with the right hand.
So he's faking to the body and throwing to the head.
No, he's stepping to the outside as though he's moving to his right to make Sibali turn toward him.
I got him. You got to slip that jab, step to the right and hit him. But if you go over there, you'll see it. You'll see it all. Okay? Okay. Don't try it too much. Okay. Once in a while, step over there and feint. Okay? How you feel? I feel good. You better loosen up, right? Yeah. You're trying too hard with the left hook. Yeah. Just let them go. Just let them slide. Okay. He's got a good jab, but you got to slip it. You got to slip his jab. Okay.
Get close to him, get close to him. Don't pull away. And keep that jab, keep the jab. You hear me? Keep the jab. Stay close.
Okay, break. Watch your holdings, Sibali.
Roy, between rounds, Sibali's corner asked him to stay closer to Danny Romero.
This is good because most of Romero's big punches are coming from the outside, but Romero can punch inside too.
So they want Sibali to stay inside of Romero's power. On the other hand, they asked him to keep pumping the jab too. Sibali getting tattooed with right hands.
And I thought it was a jab that drove him back. I could be mistaken.
There's a left hook that drives Sibali back again.
One thing I think I'm noticing, Roy, is that because of the punishment that Sibali is taking, he's afraid to really let go of his punches anymore.
Yes, he is, because every time he sticks a punch out, Danny Romero counters. This is hard on a guy because you can't get offensive-minded if every time you stick a punch out, you're getting hit. It keeps you on the defense. Romero is showing very good condition for a guy who didn't do much sparring.
Well, if he were to go on and beat Tapia and beat some other significant opponents without training, I mean without sparring, that would open a lot of eyes in the sport.
Punch your way out. Punch your way out.
But there are traditionalists, such as Larry Merchant, who will say, wait a minute, the only way to train to take a punch is to take punches. Two hard right hands by Romero, and Sibali stood his ground, but both of those punches landed flush.
I don't think you should train to take punches, but I do think you have to train to execute other punches off of another guy's punches. To execute your maneuvers off of another guy's punches.
I think you're right, Roy, but the reason they can do it, presumably, is because his father has been training him since he's 5 years old, and he says he doesn't have to see him sparring to see if he's doing the right things, that he can do it with the pads and in other ways.
This could be true. It's just that, like I said, I like to see a guy in front of me so I can work on my counter-punching maneuvers. Other than that, I don't think you should spar much either.
Danny Romero with a vicious left hand to the rib cage. Less than 10 seconds to go in round 4. It's been a very difficult 4 rounds for Jaji Sibali. He's weathered the storm, but can he find a way to do any damage to Romero?
Harold, 4 rounds. Your score, please. Harold Letterman.
Larry, quickly, 40-36, 4 rounds to nothing, Danny Romero. Larry, the reason I love this fight is the ring is 18 feet, 6 inches, and these guys are using 3 feet. It's like a fight being fought in the phone booth. They're standing in the middle of the ring, banging on each other, all hard shots. It's a real action fight, but Romero's out punching him.
You're trying too hard.
We have the same scorecard, and I'm sure so does everybody in America. All right, there we see a cross that will be followed by a jab, as you see Sibali being driven backwards.
In the last 2 rounds, according to our punch stat counters, Danny Romero has largely dispensed with the jab. He's only thrown 19 of them in the last 2 rounds, but you see how well the body attack is working, and those right hands to the jaw and the face of Sibali are landing with alarming frequency.
That's a very good jab Danny Romero is throwing right there. That's the way I think he should be setting up his power shots. Like that. Much more economical, doesn't cost as much energy, and it keeps you in shape to be able to deal with the long rounds.
Well, and you heard his father between rounds suggesting, Danny, you're trying too hard. Maybe the idea there is that if you go back to boxing and set up your power punches with the jab, the knockout will flow naturally, as opposed to trying to go out and get it with every punch.
That's what my dad always taught me. Use the jab, everything else will happen. Like that.
Danny Romero much more within himself now, much more relaxed in round 5. Looked like a man in rounds 3 and 4 trying to chop down a big tree right away. Now he's just taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented to him.
He's throwing some very good combinations together here, but like I said, his conditioning will be the major part in this fight. I don't think the South African guy is going to go down anytime soon.
Does sparring affect stamina?
Yes, sparring does affect stamina. This is where you get most of your stamina from. And I know Sibali has stamina because he's been sparring with Bungu.
The hardest puncher in boxing, then that's the hardest jaw in boxing, because Danny Romero just hit him square with the right hand.
As clean as you could want to hit a guy.
This guy's got some chin. I'm reminded of David Izanrate and the punishment he was able to take against David Tua before finally being knocked out in the 12th. Sibali has that kind of chin.
Yes, he does.
Don't rest. Keep getting him. He's tired. Don't rest. Get into him. He's tired. He's tired. Keep working. Keep working. Keep working. Keep working. Get inside. Don't get outside. Get into him. Get into him. He's tired. He's jumping at you. Just get into him.
Here we see how Romero punishes Sibali high on the temple. Sibali comes right back.
Oh, you're right. Lena, let him pull out, and you're right there for punching power, huh? Just keep getting injured.
Judging from the way that Romero is fighting this fight, the Tapia fight would turn into World War #4.
In case you've just joined us, you are watching a 115-pound war in Albuquerque, New Mexico, between champion Danny Romero and top contender Jaji Sibali. Romero from here in Albuquerque, Sibali from South Africa. Earlier this evening, in the first half of a doubleheader, another Albuquerque fighter, another world champion at 115 pounds, Johnny Tapia, got a third-round technical knockout over Jorge Barrera. If Romero can follow suit and win this fight, then all odds are that Tapia and Romero will face off later this year. And now Sibali is in a little trouble, maybe more so than at any other time in the fight. It was another explosive right hand.
And a left hook. Romero seems to be working on his inside fighting game, and he's doing a very good job of it.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
There he's using the small shots to set up a big shot.
Two more sensational right crosses across the top, and now Sibali is holding on, something he has not done before.
Oh, excellent left uppercut by Romero.
And another right hand lands flush. There are not too many guys who can take this.
Sibali won't take too much more of it.
This is a power punching display extraordinaire by Danny Romero.
Eventually he's going to wear this guy down if this guy keeps getting caught with these big punches.
Well, there's blood on Sibali's face now, and you have to believe it's probably coming from above the left eye, where he's so prone to cuts.
I think it's coming from his nose.
You do? Yep. I think you're right, Roy.
He just caught Danny with a good right hand that slowed Danny for a minute.
Step back, step back, step back.
Oh, what a
there he goes.
Right hands, and down goes Sibali.
He won't come back from that one, I guarantee you.
This is one great fighter. He is finished.
He will not come back from that one. He took too much punishment. There's no way he can come back from that one.
Boy, that was some hard tree to chop down.
Whoa, very hard tree.
A ton of credit to Sibali for his courage and his chin, but what a display of power punching over 5 rounds by Danny Romero. By punch stat numbers, Danny Romero landed 42 of 62 punches, no jabs, all power shots.
What he did, which was very smart, was he started lightening up on the inside shots. He hit him with a few short, light shots to set him up for the big punches. Then he cracked down on the open shots that he knew were going to be there. This is what I mean by being economical with the jab and the lighter, sharper punches to set the big bombs up. That way you don't wear yourself down and you get the job done still.
So he showed brains as well as bombs.
Brains, poise, and that comes from experience or a good trainer.
Here's a look at the series of right hands that hurt Sibali earlier in the round. Somehow he continued to stand up for about another 30 or 45 seconds after this.
The reason he stood up was because he was getting hit high on the head. Now he's about to get caught with a right uppercut, boom, right on the chin. That'll do it every time. The other shots were high on the head. Those shots are less effective than the ones down on the chin. The chin tilts the brain and makes you have that flash out that it takes to put you on the canvas.
This is why Andrew Galata has to learn to throw an uppercut.
Well, Andrew Galata has to learn the difference in which head he's punching at.
Another look for our overhead camera.
Beautiful right uppercut by Danny Romero.
And Jaji Sibali, who took so much punishment. Danny Romero won every round on all three judges' scorecards, except for one judge who gave Sibali the 5th round. How, I'm not really certain. And let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on Romero's victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 34 seconds of round number 6. The winner by knockout victory and still IBF Junior Bantamweight Champion of the World from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Danny Romero.
Final punch stat numbers in Romero versus Sibali. And give all credit to the challenger from South Africa for the courage he showed, not only in taking so many punches, but in continuing to throw. Out-throwing Romero with 420 punches, but he left himself open to counter shots, and Romero eventually had just too many opportunities to land with power. Let's go to Larry Merchant.
All right, thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Danny. Was that just target practice for you, or was he a really tough kid to go at?
The guy was real crafty. He practiced to get away from my right hand, so we had to tear him down with body shots, and I just wanted to be real careful with everything what I done, take my time. I got 12 rounds and dispose of them like how I did.
All right, let's go to Johnny Tapia now that we know that fight is going to happen. We presume it will happen.
See what happened tonight? It'll happen the same way. The same way it's going to happen. He don't want none of this.
He was yelling after that fight, I want Danny, I want Danny. Why do you guys want each other so badly?
You know, one of the whole thing is this is the right time for me. I got to dispose of a little gnat that has been all over me, so it's time to get rid of it.
There's been some question of whether that fight could be held in Albuquerque because it inflames such passions. This crowd seemed to be a very well-behaved, appreciative crowd. Do you think now that it could be held here?
I told you that, you know, when we had the meeting before, that I think the media has really thrown it all off of what it really should be. This is the event. Two competitors with tremendously great talent, and one's going to come out victorious, and that's me, and the crowd has nothing to do with it.
So you want the fight here in Albuquerque?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, there's a lot of, you know, stuff going around. It doesn't matter. We can fight in the backyard if we have to.
Thank you. I don't think you will have to do that. Jim?
All right, thanks very much. And let me echo, incidentally, what Larry suggested in there. I saw no reason here tonight why this fight couldn't be held in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I mean, if somebody thinks there's a problem, they know more than we do. But this was a great crowd, huh?
A very good crowd. I think the fight should be here. The crowd deserves it. These are two guys that they have supported. The crowd, the fans are part of the main reason that this fight is going to be such a big fight. They deserve this fight. They just have to conduct themselves in a way that, hey, we have two champions. We've been blessed with 2 champions. We've been blessed with double talent. Now let's put it together and find out who truly is once and for all the best.
And you, big guy, get to be the first to handicap the fight. What would Tapia or Romero look like, and who would have the advantages?
It would look like World War III, and I don't know who would have the advantage.
Oh, well said. Very diplomatic.
I can only speak on Roy Jones's hand. Now, come March 21st, that's a different story.
Yes, you'll be fighting Montel Griffin. Are you in shape?
I can tell you who will have the advantage then.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
All right, we'll see you again on March 21. Thanks very much for being with us again tonight, Roy.
Thank you, too.
Larry, final chance for you to comment on what was the ideal stage setter for a possible Romero-Tapia matchup.
I guess there was so much hype about the bad feelings, and after all, it can't be just hype if the officials here thought they had to have so much protection around the place. And I guess I was a little afraid that the land of enchantment would become the land of disenchantment for boxing. But now I feel that when those 2 kids meet, it will be the biggest explosion since they had one up at Los Alamos, about 75 miles from here, in 1944, an atomic bomb. In that fight, in the terms of the feelings involved, is not just life and death. It's more important than that, as they say.
Well, indeed, because there are